Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome into the episode of the BeBall Jones podcast. Of course, I am your host, BeBall Jones. There's your co-host, Nelson Haskins. We are here today to speak with you guys all about travel basketball, AAU basketball. I can't tell you what AAU stands for because I don't know right now. Um, but
This stands for Amateur Athletic Union.
see, that's why he here because he knows, and I forgot. So that's the balance act we do here. So, um, yeah, we
Right.
talking about travel basketball AAU, man. So, um, you play travel ball growing up, right?
As a kid, not really. Nah, I didn't. I played AAU 2 years in high school.
So what was your experience like when you played travel ball? Travel ball.
So for those who don't know, trap ball and AAU is somewhat different, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean it's very similar in ways. But like uh, AAU is different because, like I said, it stands for Amateur Athletic Union. It is a union, so they put on their own like tournaments and stuff. Like almost like saying like it's like almost a difference in saying like someone's in the UFC and someone does MMA. There's almost a difference in that. Like someone who's in the UFC might do MMA because MMA is a sport, but the UFC is a organization. Feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But someone who does MMA is not in the UFC automatically. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's the best way I can explain it to y'all. But uh I think my experience at AAU was cool. I had a good time. It was fun. I got a little bit of exposure. Uh, but it was kind of short lived, if I had to say so myself. So I don't really know how much it did or did not help my career. So I mean, I don't think it hurted in any way, obviously, but it was kind of short lived. But at the end of the day, I did have fun. I got I got more competition against good talent and stuff like that. So that was a little bit of something, show me what was out there. Coming from a small town, you never really know what's outside of your area. Because I'm in rural Alabama. I'm not in a big city. I'm not in Birmingham, Huntsville, Mobile, stuff like that, Tuscaloosa even. So playing in small towns is like, or playing in rural areas is like, man, you kind of in a little box. And
Yeah.
it's like, man, I mean, you could be good for that area, but you never really know what's out there. So that was a good part about it, I would say, because all our tournaments we had one in I had one in Atlanta, I had one in Birmingham, I had two in Atlanta actually. But it just that was good in itself to see what competition was out there on my level amongst my peers. But other than that, I mean, I really don't know how much of a difference it made for my entire career. So I mean, I can't really speak on it. Like I can't say, yeah, hey, you was the only reason I went to college, this and that. Like I can't even say that. So
Mm-hmm.
not saying it hurt. Obviously, like I said, I ain't saying it hurt my career, but that's just part of it that I don't know. But it was cool. Did you ever play travel ball or anything like that when you was growing up?
Surprisingly, I didn't.
Mm.
So when I tried to my like I tried heavy like my seventh or eighth grade year, and like everybody on my team basically tried out for this. It was weird. So everybody on my team tried out for the specific team that year, and well, all the good guys like that was cool to play together. We all tried out for the team, and
Mm.
then we was like, I feel like it's a pretty good try. I feel like, of course, all of us can make because the rules different back then that you can only have X amount of people for the team. So we was like, just knowing how we performed that day, you know, probably these people made it, and the rest of us got cut, whatever. But we was gonna try to move over here, and so surprisingly, none of us made it. Like, and we had some cold dudes that could hoop, so it's just like what? And so, but overall, man, I didn't know enough about it, and my parents didn't really know too much about it to like be like, yeah, you should be playing travel basketball or whatever. And I just like kind of going with the flow of what I knew because I didn't know enough back then.
Right.
Then getting into high school, I kind of knew about it enough, but I didn't know how important it was to go play. Then I had a couple, I won't say offers, but like a couple things I could have played with, but it's just like I knew y'all was trash. I didn't want to do that, so it's like I didn't. I was being a kid for real, and then just doing stuff by myself. But I can't really say it's good or bad for me because I'm here today. You feel me? So uh, I don't know, but just from my experience now as a former coach, I guess slash trainer now, I can speak more of that perspective of it. But as a player, I don't have anything in the files to reference about when it comes to AAU or travel basketball. But that's my little lifetime of AAU, man. Going to a tryout and none of us making it, surprisingly. So
Yeah, that is kind of. I don't know. That is kind of crazy. How many people was at the trial? Like, was it a lot of people?
it wasn't even a whole lot of people. That's the weird part too. Like our whole team, we didn't look bad that day. Like none of us looked bad. Like of course we didn't look amazed. Like we were surprised certain people didn't show up and do like they could do. Like it was like B or C game, but still better than a lot of other folks' things. So we feel like the coach had to already have his people
All the
there.
guys, yeah, pre-selected.
He already had pre-selected. So it was like after a while, we was like, "Oh, you ain't make it? Something wrong here." Like like the people know. You remember the Birmingham Ice?
Yeah,
We had a homeboy that actually ended up playing with them at some point. So it's like, okay, if we have a Birmingham Ice person not playing on your team, went to the trials, something's not right here. You
yeah,
know,
makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah. So it's like, okay, like when we got to school, we're like, man, how the trials go? You made the team? You got your, I don't remember if it was a text or a phone call, whatever. He was like, nah. I was like, okay, I ain't get it either, so you don't feel as bad. You walk talk to other folks. He's like, you ain't get it either. You ain't get nobody made it. Dang, okay. All right, okay. So
Okay, whatever.
that, that's your problem. It ain't our problem. So hey, y'all
Thanks.
missing out. So, but nah, man, it was weird. That's the only thing I could think of. It was weird. And I remember going to the trial or two or something, man. But I didn't know enough to be like, you need to go play travel ball, especially um not coming from the biggest of background of basketball like that. Like I ain't have like the experience and training like that. So like that would help me out, like getting mentally after, like you said, not knowing you don't know how good you are till you get against other competition talent. So being in a situation to be like, oh, you suck, bro. Like let's go get in the gym, or like, hey, you pretty decent, keep working. I didn't have that. All I had was like my area of what I knew about. So that would have helped out. But you don't know what you
Yeah.
don't know. So
And that kind of be like the biggest problem and stuff like that with those situations, because it's really not on us; it's more of on our parents and stuff. Like, and if your parents ain't big into the hoop scene or like sports in general, then they won't know, and what they don't know, you won't know. And it's then you just kind of like you probably was with your friends, and they was all like, "Man, let's try out for AAU, like or whatever, travel ball team," and you was like, "Yeah, cool, like that, yeah, let's do that."
yeah,
And then you just had to go home and tell your folks.
yep,
So yeah, that'd be kind of the number one thing. Is like some kids have somewhat of an advantage because it's like their parents know all about it, or if your dad or your mama was big in sports all your life, and then you grow up, you start playing sports, they know the route to take. And if your folks ain't like that, then they just not like that. It ain't nobody's fault. Obviously, they just like you said, you don't know what you don't know, and they don't know what they don't know.
yeah,
So it just happens that way sometimes. So that's kind of how I was too, because I had to beg my mom and dad to let me play AAU and stuff like that. The 2 years that I did, like I had to beg them for that one. And
mm-hmm,
so, thankfully they let me do it. But just it's one of them things. Like if you don't know, or if you're not, in my case, I wasn't in an area to be on a good basketball team. Like I said, like a good AAU team. Because like I said, I'm not in no big city. Because like how you named the Birmingham Ice and stuff like that. There's plenty good like AAU teams in Birmingham. Like stupid basketball team AAU teams in Atlanta. And you know what I'm saying? Like basketball team, good AAU teams in Tuscaloosa. Every big city got good, decent AAU teams behind them. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So it was one of them, that was part of it too. It's like, man, I gotta make a trip like to go play for a decent AAU team. I mean, I could have played for a little rinky dink AAU team over here,
mm-hmm.
but who was we? We wasn't gonna play a whole lot of games, a whole lot of tournaments. You know what I'm saying? We probably gonna come out of pocket a good bit just to play because it's like, man, they gotta finance this stuff because they ain't on no Nike circuit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no Nike contract, Adidas contract, like some bigger names do. That's just part of it, man. It's like, man, it's a business.
Yep,
So you get kind of stuck in it. Like, am I in or am I out? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it is.
yeah. So that's a lot that hurts a lot of people, and like like you said, I can't blame my parents because they don't. You don't know what you don't know. They're doing the best of what they knew to do, and so, you know, like my other homeboys, they knew a little bit better than me because they had a coach something put something in their ear, and they ended up playing different places and stuff. But I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't knowing they played, but I didn't know how important it was to make sure that you did play and why you need to go play more. But looking back, I was like, dang man, like I wasn't even that far off to like playing because I could have played with pretty much most of the teams that my homeboys were playing with. You know, I wasn't that far off. I was just like, I didn't know. I literally had no idea. I was like, oh, you just going to hoop. All right, cool. I'm just go outside and hoop. You know, like I didn't know the difference of that for real. I know it's organizing, hooping. That's it. But now I can look back and like, dang, bro, I should have played. Like, but so whatever, man. You know, hindsight 2020.
Facts. But I tell you though, in my few AAU tournaments that I did play, I did have a good time. It was fun. I played with my homeboy Shakar, my high school teammate. So that was cool. Uh, but it's just I wish it could have lasted longer, or maybe I should have played more years. But like I said, I didn't know nothing about the AAU circuit as it was. But I did definitely have fun though. Like it's basketball at the end of the day, so I'm having fun playing against different people, new people. I'm traveling. We stayed in the hotel for a couple of months, so that was fun. You know what I'm saying? Always cool to hit the like to stay in a hotel with your team and stuff. That's always fun. Might play the game, stuff like that. We went to, we took our walk and went to the mall. You know, I had fun, man. So all in all, I enjoyed my experience playing AAU. So I can't complain. Just wish it was a little bit longer.
So tell me, what was like the greatest or the good parts about travel basketball from your experience with that, and just like what
Definitely,
you see overall.
yeah, it's definitely the travel part. Like just going, hanging out, travel. Like as much as I hate long bus rides and stuff, traveling be some of the most fun you have with your teammates and stuff. Cause it's like I said, the hotels, the little meals, just hanging out, man. It's fun. Like you play the game, then you chill, sit around, wait on the next game. You know, Hey, that's kind of it. It might not sound like a lot to the average person or someone who ain't never dealt with it, but like when you cool with your teammates, when they your homeboys for real, like you have fun doing that. It's like, man,
Mhm.
we just got through playing at 11. It's like we just finished at 11. It was like, when next time we play? 2. All right. Everybody got their little backpacks on, chilling, laid back, watching other teams play. You know what I'm saying? That'd be fun to me. Like I have a good time. So, and then just hanging out. So
Mhm.
that's definitely like I say the best part about it to me, because it's like you can't really beat that. Just kicking with your homeboys, hooping. We play, then we chill, go eat, whatever. Play again,
Mhm.
come back, chill, hoop. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. So then you wake up, you go to sleep at the hotel. Y'all chilling, hanging out at the hotel, play the game, whatever. Wake up, do the whole thing over again. So
Yeah,
that's the best part about it for sure.
yeah. It's just the experiences and the memories that you get, and then like the team bonding that you have. Like
Right.
you can't replace those moments and the stories that you have from being with your homeboys and stuff. Like nobody can sit back and be like, um, I can't like you can't pay for those moments and stuff. Like you just can't fake that stuff, man. So it's like, especially if you're cool with people and those your boys and stuff, like that's some of the best stuff. If best, probably some of the best basketball memories some people have. Because you might
Hmm.
not make a school ball team, you might not make the high enough level of school team or whatever. So if that might be the best memories you have, man. We played AAU, man. We went all the way to Chicago. We did this, that, and the third. We went to Tennessee, went to Texas, whatever. And that might be your homeboy for life right there. So
Hmm.
little stuff like that makes those pockets so great. It's just the experience and memories that you have, man. So, but as a coach and a trainer, man, looking at it for my lens of it, I feel like the importance of the travel basketball and well, let's speak mainly AAU. Points like AAU is really just like the exposure, like kind of like you said earlier of how being in a smaller area, you don't have the ability to just go get your name out there and get your face out there because you play in the small areas. People are, we automatically like, oh, you went from a little country bunky and place over here. Like you can't hoop. Like we ain't worried about you. You ain't playing. Even if you are putting up stuff, you ain't playing against anybody. So it's like whatever. I don't care no more, man. But now we out here busting your head in. Oh, this little country boy got something to say. Like what's up now? So the exposure
Facts.
is big time, man. To be able to finally put your name in a certain category of people, the group of people, is a big thing for people, especially coming from a small place, or if you feel like you're underrated. So if you're from Birmingham in an area that you got it, but you don't feel like you're getting the recognition you deserve, now I got an opportunity to where school ball sucks, y'all team ain't doing nothing. Okay, let me separate from that, and I'm able to go to a new team, new coaching, better team, better coaching, better competition. To now my game's level up. So for the
Hmm.
exposure is one of the great parts of AAU that a lot of kids are blessed to have.
Facts. Um, there's two big positives to AAU. And like anything though, there's a positive and a negative. There's a good side and a bad side of AAU. But I'll start with the positives though. But there's two big positives, and you touched on one of them to having AAU to playing AAU. So number one, and it's funny because they're kind of opposites. So number one, like you said, you from this rural space, whatever, or you in this area without a whole lot of talent, whatever. Your
Mhm.
high school ain't playing nobody. Maybe you in prep school. Maybe you go to a private school, whatever. Um, and you ain't playing nobody, but you
Mhm.
hooping.
Mhm.
Cool. But you like you said, folks, look at that. Like he ain't playing nobody. Now you playing on the big time EYBL, Nike circuit, Adidas circuit, whatever, and you still hooping against good talent. Now it's like, oh, he for real. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And college coaches take a little more notice of that because it's like in high school, you ain't playing nobody. You go on this circuit. Now it's like, oh, you playing against con, you still doing it. So you like that. Now you the real deal. So that's number one, big positive about AAU. Number two is almost the opposite. If you're really good, um, and or like I mean, if you're like decent in a really really good high school team type stuff. So like I point to like I would point to like Zion Williamson. Remember when Zion was in high school and we used to see Zion clips all the time and him dunking and all, and no offense to nobody, but y'all, let's be real. And a lot of them clips, he was bullying like small white kids.
Yep.
Like they skinny, they small, none of them his size. I remember the one with the little boy that walked out and started trying to guard him. Dude had to be maybe 5'10". Walked out on Zion. He was like the 9th, 10th grader, and he like chest over Zion, face on his chest like this, like he face guarding him. And everybody clapping, hyping it up, and then like Zion laughing, and then he like, I don't know, knocked the ball out of bounds or something. And they hyping him up. Them his clips like against these guys. And
Yep.
so obviously we knew like, okay, he's 6'6", crazy athletic, this and that, But anybody, none of us had seen Zion play a real game. We just seen these clips on social media and stuff.
Hmm.
So if you really look at the clips, I mean, if most people like me, I mean, I don't know, some people might say I'm a hater, but I feel like this is a hooper thing. Like you look at the competition.
Yeah.
It's like if dude going crazy, you looking around like, all right, who are these guys on the court? Do they look like they can hoop? Like I know it ain't but a 25-second clip, but let me look at these other guys, see what they doing, what they look like. And so I'm sure, like most, like me, most hoopers are probably looking like, man, he bullying these little white kids. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
But then Zion plays in, big time EYBL, big time Nike circuit, playing against the best of the best in his grade class, and he's still doing it. So I think that let people know, oh, okay, he ready for Kentucky, Duke, Louisville, whatever, all the
Hmm.
offers. So it be like that. And then you got guys like the opposite, not the opposite, but you got guys like Bronny, LeBron's son. He played Sierra Canyon. They whole starting lineup probably going big D1, like high major. And of course he's LeBron James' son. But
Hmm.
so he gonna be straight, like most likely. But Bronny, if like I don't know how much y'all pay attention to it, but Bronny numbers not crazy. People might assume like he probably averaging 20 and 10, something crazy like that. He's not. He's averaging regular numbers because he's playing against great competition every day. Like
Hmm.
Sierra Canyon plays like a nationally ranked high school schedule type stuff. Like they're not just playing like whoever in the area. They playing good teams.
Hmm.
So uh His stats like not crazy. I think he averaged like 13, 14 points. It might be more. I might be tripping. But he's not averaging no 20, 30. Like some people might like if you was a casual, you some folks would think he probably averaged like 30 points a game in high school. He's not.
Mm.
He's averaging regular numbers. But he's still playing against great competition every day in high school. And then he plays great competition in AAU. And in AAU, he's like a better player in his AAU teams, like because he is more surrounded around him. And he gets to show a little more of his individual talent. You know what I'm saying? AAU is a little more freelance and stuff like that. So he gets to
Mm.
show a little more of his individual skill in AAU. So that helps. So those are the big positives I would say for AAU. Like that can help boost the right people's exposure in those ways if they in those two different situations. So I would say that's the biggest upside to it.
Yeah, that's kind of similar to John Morant's story, like you said with Zion, where his infamous story where he was, I'm pretty sure it was AU game, and he was out hooping somewhere, and the scout from Murray State was going to concession to get some chips, and as he's walking by, he went to the gym. Oh, he's like the gym was like somewhere in the vicinity of the concession stand, so he going to get the chips, whatever. And he's walking either back out or whatever, and he just go by the gym. He see some crazy stuff. He just like poke his head in and see what's up, man. What's this going on in here? See Ja going stupid. He's like, "Hey, coach, we got a boy over here going crazy. You need to check him out." So just him being at the right place at the right time for him, got him exposure. If he wasn't at the tournament, or that's even like one step higher than just exposure and opportunity. That's just luck, for real. But um, but being someone like that to where he didn't have a whole lot of offers and stuff like that. He was balling, he was doing his thing. But Murray State's not it's not a high level Power Five conference type of school. Like it's mid major. He's not going to the colossal Dukes and UCLA's and USC's, and he didn't get those offers. He's going
Mm-hmm.
mid major, but he probably wouldn't have got mid major if it wasn't for that. And so some people who are like, no offense to D2s, D3s, JUCOs and that, but he got a more exposure to that level of scouting because of travel basketball and AU. So I feel like that's kind of what, like you said before, the benefit of that is because now you're getting your name put up in a different caliber of people. Be like, oh, he can hoop. Like, okay, like Zion will probably held back because it's like, oh, he hoop against some 5'10" dude who probably is the last year hooping, bro. Like that's it for him, man. Like any white boys too. Like them white boys probably can't even hoop. Like we just that's all. It's all like all hoop was assuming like, oh, he look good. Athletic, crazy, jumping, dunking, blocking shots. That's crazy. Oh, stupid. Then we take one step deeper. And we're like, okay, let me see what he's going against. Going against who? Everybody at under 6 foot. Nah, bro. Nah, play against somebody else. Okay, 6'1" tall dude, but 6'1" dude, chubby fat white boy again. All right, bro, throw it out the way. So IO stats going out the way. Your highlights mean nothing now, but
Facts.
you finally go to AU ball. It's like, oh, he's doing highlights still against better competition. Okay, now we can pay a little attention now to what you're doing because we respect what you're doing. But before that, it's just like, nah, bro. Like you this dude, he's stressing really more about his algebra 2 test he got tomorrow than his basketball future. Like, man, I got
Facts.
this Pythagorean theorem. I'm stressing over, bro. I can't figure that junk out. Now I got stressed about going against Zion Williamson too. Like, nah, bro. I got you worried about your NBA future. I'm worried about passing physics. Like we I'm
Boy,
trying
I
to be a
love
lawyer.
them jokes. Like folks love saying that. Like when folks love saying that when his highlights was coming up and stuff.
That junk was funny.
Like they used to say that about LeBron too, because LeBron went to NBA straight out of high school. They were like,
Yep.
imagine you just got out of algebra 2, now you got to guard LeBron James. I was like, yo, I love that joke. That's hilarious, bro. Because that's real. I don't know what that's like.
Bro, that junk was so different, bro. When he said that junk, I was like, that's super accurate, bro. I'm trying to be
Yes.
a lawyer. I'm trying to be a doctor, bro. Like I know my hoop dreams ain't done, bro. But I gotta play against who? The boy 6'8", dunking like what? Lord, let me say a prayer for this game because this is gonna be a long night. Like
I was just praying I ain't the one getting dunked on in the highlight,
let me be in the highlight, but not the focus of the highlight. So like you getting dunked on, but I'm the one watching you getting dunked on. I'm just like, ooh, I'm on the bench watching something. Like I would not want to be in that still frame of LeBron knee going across my chin. I'm just like, nah, bro. Mm-mm. I'm getting grades top of the head. You know, I can't go too detailed into that, but I'm getting grades top of the head, and I'm just like, nah, bro, that can't be me. I'm not
It
the one.
can't be. It cannot be, dog. Cause man, that jump was going what? Folks was getting dunked on by Zion. Like Zion was the worst. Like
He was terrible. He was a menace.
man, these kids ain't stand no chance whatsoever. I'm talking about they could be like if you know something about basketball, they could be in perfect guard position. This man, like that's nice.
Yep.
Oh,
And you know the refs ain't give you no kind of benefit of the doubt. It could have been a legit charge, but nah, we're going for the highlight play, bro. Zion, good dump, my guy. Go back on the other end.
thanks. And they, bro, and Russ be doing that too. When you a big name, Russ be fooling with you. Like, oh man, come on, man, that's so and so. Like
Yep.
that's how it is, man. Come on, man. I'm like, Ruff.
Yep.
What about me though? I'm somebody.
You don't
Oh
care
my
nothing about
goodness.
you, man. But so it's not that you're mentally weak. It's just that you don't really understand where your mental toughness is. You don't understand where exactly you're mentally strong at. It's even crazy. You probably don't even really understand what mental toughness actually is. And I don't blame you because usually we just have coaches yelling at us and fussing at us saying, hey, 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 be mentally tough. You're being weak right now. You're being soft right now. But it's not the full scope and it doesn't give you any true understanding of what mental toughness is and how you can get better at it. And so I'm here to help you guys out. Because just imagine I gave you a pill right here in my hand. Just imagine. And within that pill, it gave you just a epiphany where you just brain just blew up and you're just like, oh my goodness, you got so much better understanding. Now your game just grows by 10x and you just a whole different person now. Bro, I got the pill for you right here. Never fear, B's Mental Toughness Playbook ebook is here. You feel me? So in this whole little playbook I got for you, just small little ebook, it breaks down the mental game of understanding what mental toughness is in different areas of what your mental toughness is and how you can actually grow it and get better and enhance it. So, look in the link, look in the description, and just go ahead and purchase it and do yourself a favor by just understanding what mental toughness actually is and also understanding how you can actually grow it and what you can do to get better at it. So, just the mental toughness playbook, small little ebook. I'm just trying to tell you, hey, can't say I didn't warn you. But yeah, man, that's the reality of a lot of people, man. Like I'm stressing about how can I get this job after the season done. I'm trying to make some money in my pocket. You just focused on your college career and your NBA career. I'm like, nah, bro, it's two different lifestyles. But anyway, man. But yeah, that's the beautiful part of AAU, man. Get the people exposure and just I think on another sense too, to where sometimes you get too bogged down being under a program or under a coach or something. Like you limit to that. So like you might be in a school system where the coach he's not bad, but they're not benefiting you and what your strengths are. So if you are a John Morant, a Zion, super athletic guy, you better run and gun. But the coach will sit down and do a Princeton offense, and it's like, ooh, this ain't. I'm not finna run a UCLA cut, bro. Like let's press, let's trap, let me run. Just give me something where I can go downhill, where I can express my athleticism. And so you don't get that with school ball. That hurts you. Now I can go play travel ball and I can really play my game. Now I look like who I can be. Now you get that exposure too. And sometimes just getting under a different coach in general. Just so you might have me who I'm chilling, I ain't gonna yell at you. I'm your school team. You gonna travel ball, you got freaking Bobby Knight coaching you. You're like, oh snap, this a different exposure right here. Like you got like you went through with your high school career. You had here, then you had here, then you had here. It's like, okay, now I got all different stuff to pull from this. So you need that. Going to different teams and teammates, you need that too. And all over there's different exposure, not just of your game, but you as a player and you as a human being, you need that exposure overall. So that's one thing that is a benefit of AAU that I want to throw in there too.
Yeah, that's valid too. Because in your lie, high school, like they might need you. They might need you. Like I'm quite certain. Now Zion a good kid, obviously. Like he seemed like a really good dude. But If Zion was quote unquote a problem child, pretty sure they'll let a lot of things slide.
Mm-hmm.
But AAU was like, man, hey, you can go play for another AAU team, man. Like
Yep.
we the such and such all stars, whatever state they in.
Yep.
Like, we gonna be all right. That guy going, that guy got D1 offers, that guy got D1 offers, that guy got D1 offers. You think you the only one there with D1 offers, bro? Like, buddy, you can slide.
Yep. Yep.
So, you do get a little bit of a taste of like being on a team full of talent, and that's good for for the next level for being on college teams. Because one thing that like some guys struggle with, and I didn't talk to a lot of my coaches about this too. Um, and people love to say, uh, everybody on the college team was a high school superstar. Like you're not a star no more. Like because guys struggle to go from being a high school superstar to going to a college team being like a role player or in a role. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
they so used to being the guy. It's like you're not the guy no more. Everybody in here was the guy when they was in high school. Like now we filling out roles. You feel me?
Yeah.
So um the thing about it, like when that kind of prepares you a little bit because it's like if you the guy on your AAU team full of D1 players, then you legit, obviously, like you are who you thought you was, whatever.
Yep.
If you still the cream of the crop when you playing with the cream of the crop, then that's good. That's what's up. You proved yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
if you not, that's not necessarily a bad thing either. But that prepares you a little bit more for college. It's like, oh, okay, if I'm let's say you were 6'9" big in high school. And six
Mm-hmm.
nine and big in high school is going crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you train to play big, at least you know what I'm saying. Like if
Yeah.
you are legit big, you 6'9", you gonna get off in high school in the right places. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
ain't too many people your size. Then you go play AAU, and it's like, oh, we just need you to block shots, rebound, play D. And we're gonna hit you with these Clint Capella pick and roll lobs here and there. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that's your game. But that prepares you for college. Like that, playing like that will be like that will let you know, like, oh shoot, in college, man, if I'm a role player, I'll be a beast. Because it's like, shoot, I've been a star. I know I can score here. I can do this, that. Like I'm a player that they can feed in the post, all that good stuff, and I can get a bucket. That's cool. But if you playing on a team with more talent and they can reduce your role to just being like, man, you gonna just you ain't even got to worry about getting post touches for it because you gonna average 12 points a game off pick and rolls and drop offs and backside oops.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna get off, man. I'm telling you, like
Yeah.
people out here that want that. So I
Yeah.
think that's cool. I think that's also a good little part about it.
But I think on the other end of it, that can be a negative thing because sometimes like you're going against this talented group, right? And on the other end of exposure, you get exposed. So it's like, ooh,
Oh yeah.
you not who you thought you were. Oh, okay. Now
That
you out
part
here
of the
thinking
deal.
you think you the man because you're doing your thing in school ball, but you got out into these real teams and it's like you get punched in the mouth a couple times. It's like, oh, let me go back home and reconsider my life now because I'm not that guy. I'm not that lady like I thought I was. So you think you 5 star, 4 star, man. Why I'm slipping? Why I'm underrated? Let's go to these camps and really see what's up now. You out there and you can't even dribble the ball right. You dribble the ball off your foot, can't even get the ball past half court. That punch in the mouth don't feel too good. Now you thought you was the man, but now you got exposed to see who you really are. You thought you was the man that you dominated and everything. Nah, bro. Now you got some real competition. So it can be a humbling experience on the other end of it, which I won't say I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's just like another piece of what travel basketball does for you. So um you will get exposed on the other end of it to be like, man, I'm a man, I'm finna go pro, man. I'm finna be like John Wall and I'm gonna go 1 year, be like Anthony Davis and do my 1 year and I'm gonna go pro. And you see what that Anthony Davis look like for matter of fact, you ain't even worry about Anthony Davis. You're not even on the EYBL level. You just going against better competition. You go out there with some real hoopers and it's like, ooh, maybe D4 might be my route. Go just play
D4s.
intramural in college and
Right. Hey, that might be your route, dog.
let me go to Division 4 with the intramural hooping life because that's a whole different beast out there. So I think that's one thing too. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's another thing I want to throw in there,
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think that's a negative.
man.
I do not think that's a negative whatsoever. Like, hey, that's really a positive. You need to realize what's out there, who you got to be against. Like, there's always somebody out there a little bit better than you. And guys, especially in basketball, because in basketball is such an individualized sport, so superstar driven. One player can affect the game so much that if you're the best player on the sorry team, you think you just that guy. You know what I'm saying? You think you just him. But in reality, nobody else around you is doing nothing. So like
Mhm.
you gotta be him. Like you ain't got no choice. So you ain't really thinking about your field goal percentage, what you're shooting, how many turnovers you got, because it's like you gotta play. You could like the ball gonna be in your hand. You the best player. You ain't got no choice. And
Mhm.
then you be like, hey man, I averaged this in high school, this and that. Like man, prime example. And my guys here, this like they'll probably know who I'm talking about, but I love them. Like, it ain't nothing personal. I'm gonna leave names out, obviously, but whatever. I remember when I got to JUCO, my freshman year. I'm meeting all our guys and stuff. I'm at Bevel, first time meeting these guys for real. And we talking about our high school careers and stuff. Like, what you do in high school? What you do there? What you do this? Like, what you average? Had a guy on my team say, yeah, I averaged 20 some points in high school. And I'm like, dang, okay, that's what's up. I averaged 14, by the way. So anybody that don't know, I averaged 14 and 10 in high school and like 6 blocks a game. So good stats, obviously. But obviously not no superstar. Like I went averaging 20 and 12, and the blocks and stuff. So I don't consider them superstar stats. He was like, yeah, I averaged 20 something. I can't remember what he said, but 20 something. I was like, dang, you going crazy. That's what's up. He's like, yeah, I had a couple 30-point games, 40-point games. I had a 50 ball one time. I said, dang, that's crazy. I never touched that. I scored 20 like once in high school. I ain't never touched 30, 40, 50. That's insane. He's showing me the newspaper clippings and stuff. Not realizing at the time he was playing, and my coach like attested to this. He was playing on these his words. Now my coach, my JUCO coach, Coach Suits, Lord rest his soul. These are his words. Probably the worst team in the state.
Mhm.
He was playing 1A basketball. He was like he's
Mhm.
playing on probably the worst high school team in the state. And if it wasn't for him, it would be hands down the worst. Like he
Mhm.
said that. And he's a coach, so I'm like, he just seen him play, and he recruited him anyway, because obviously he had some talent.
Yeah.
But he admitted, he was like, yeah, like I don't think he would never say that. He was like, I had to do it. He said, he had to score, he had to do this. He was the only one who could score. He knew that much. But my JUCO coach said, yeah, this is the worst team in the state. And so he got to Bevel, and he was no longer going to do that. And I mean, I knew that. I'm sure he knew that too. But I'm like, he had a little adjustment period of doing too much dribbling, doing too much with the ball, this and that. It's like, bro, we don't need that.
Mhm.
Like, we don't need that, bro. Swing the ball, run the play, run the offense. We're not running everything through you. That's over.
Yeah.
I love you. I ain't trying to say you ain't good. I want you to still get off. You're going to get a bucket. The bucket's going to come, but not like that. That's not how you got to play anymore. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so I feel like it's good to go and get that out early. Like if he would
Mhm.
have played for a really good AAU team, I don't know if he did or not, but if he'd have played for a really good AAU team and they like got to like showing him like, oh man, I ain't got to do all this dribbling, all this scoring no more. At an earlier age, he wouldn't have had to go through that adjustment in college. Expose like, what I'm trying to say is, long story short, is expose people, man. Expose them, like expose them early. Let them
Yeah.
know, all right, you're not the best. This is how good your peers are on
Mhm.
another level. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be there, you need to work for it or you need to get there. You know what I'm saying? Do it, put the work in. But right now, today, you're not better than them. I feel like that's good for people to see. So, and that's just it, man. Like, so nah, that's not a negative what you said. That's really a positive. Folks get out their little towns, they bad teams where they the guy, where they doing all this dribbling, all the scoring. Go play for a team with just as much talent as you got everywhere. And we see what it really is. So go and figure that out now, so you can put the work in and or decide if you really want to do this. Because it's some people fold. Some people like, man, nah, bro. Like I'm not going back to that team. They don't pass me the ball. They don't do this. They don't do that. I'm not getting enough shots. I'm not getting enough touches. It's a reason for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a- so yeah, not a negative. Really a positive in my eyes. But hey,
Yeah. But I do think on to kind of I guess you kind of pair it with that one, but like on the other end of it, like you said, you're not that guy. But on the other end of it to prepare to come better and be that guy, you need to go train. You need to like not play basketball for a second to train and get better. Like yes, yes, like I said, I tell my kids all the time, man. You get better at basketball by playing basketball. But there is a percentage of like getting better by actually training. Like you can't when you're playing, think about it like this. When you're in a game, you're getting even if you're the best player, you're getting up 20 shots. Like
Hmm.
you're not getting better off of shooting 20 shots in 2 hours, like hour and a half, an hour. Like that, you're not getting better by doing that. Now, 20 shots in 2 minutes. Okay, now we talk about getting, some type of progression and getting better at it. But the way the games are set up and you stack the way you just hooping, you just 7 games in a weekend. It's like, whoa, 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 slow down. Like, let's slow that down a little bit, man. Like I get you want to get the kids playing, but as a trainer, I'm not even saying that selfishly, but like seeing how development is, you're not getting that much better by just hooping because you're gonna have the same habits, especially if you're not going against higher competition like that's forcing you to get outside your comfort zone and out your bag. Like we're talking about with you and Hunt, like I got to get deeper in my bag now. Like I can't that little AI crossover and getting it right now. So I'm gonna have to change the game up and pull something else on my bag. Like I don't know what I got to pull out, but something finna come out this Batman tool belt. I got to figure something else out. So but going against the same competition all the time is not going to raise that bag out, and so raise the bag up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's one part of it to where it's a bad thing because you're not getting able to train like you need to, and also it's like you're not developing and growing um, like you should because all you're doing is hooping. So on one end, you're hooping and you're getting that exposure to hooping, which is good, but you're just like limiting and capping yourself off as a ceiling. So you're just good at what you're good at, and you're not gonna grow as much because you're not taking the time to step back and say, okay, boom, my ball handler. So let me work on my ball handler like crazy, and then go back and hoop because if you're practicing all the time and actually playing all the time, you're not gonna grow because in practice you're not getting shots up, in the games you're not getting shots up or whatever. So how are you gonna grow and get better? It's kind of hard. So that's one negative I will say about travel ball that yeah you might get exposed, but now how are you gonna grow that out because you're playing AAU all summer, you turn around and playing basketball all during the winter. Where are you developing and growing at? That's my one issue I do see with it sometimes, where people are just like doing year round of sports, but you're not taking a second. I ain't saying like take a full season off and just like don't go hoop or don't go play other sports, but take a second where you be like, okay, let me train and actually work on my game. If you want to get better at it, that's what you're serious about. So that's one little negative I will say about AU.
I definitely see that too. So yeah, but since we're in that route, let's get into the negatives. So I would say there's a couple big negatives about AAU, but the negatives don't apply to every AAU team. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say there's a couple of big negatives. Number one, it can be somewhat of a money grab. Like yeah, it can be in the wrong places, the wrong people running it. You got some shaky people out there, and that's just part of it. You got to discern for yourself who the right people are to trust and teams to sign with, not sign, but play for. Don't sign no contracts, kids. But
There probably is some under the table stuff being done that
hey,
um,
that's none of my business. But yeah, it can be a little shaky out there. You know what I'm saying? People, of course, you got to pay to be on certain AAU teams. That money supposed to go towards your travel and maybe shoes, gear, whatever that the kids get for playing on that team. So that's what the money's supposed to go to. Make sure that it's going to that parents. Like that's on your parents. Like yeah, like make sure that the people you giving the money to are trustworthy. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell people that, but some people don't know.
mhm.
Like you said, you don't know what you don't know. Cause sometimes kids come home and just like, Mom, Dad, I want to play AAU, and they say, okay, son, or daughter, if you want to play AAU, let's find your AAU team. They find the nearest AAU team in the city, and they just ran by somebody dad whose son want to play AAU. They started up a little AAU team. You know what I'm saying? And that's not that's not always the best option. I ain't saying anybody dad that run the AAU team is shiesty or nothing like that, but I'm just saying that ain't always the best option.
Mhm.
So and then what ends up happening is you put your kid on that team and they be like, hey, yeah, my kid wants to play AAU, wins trials, and they're like, nah, you ain't got to try out. Just pay us 500 and your kid can play. First off, that's a red flag. I want y'all
Yep.
to know that. Parents, that's a red flag. If they don't have a tryout, that's a red flag. They just that means they don't care who on this team, what the talent is, whatever. Because especially if they never seen your kid play, like I can kind of understand. They're like, yeah, I seen your kid play this at this school, whatever. I seen him. He pretty good. I want him to play for me. That's cool. That's one thing. Still like, do your research and all that, but that's a little bit better. But they just be like, oh no, no trial, nothing. Just bring him to practice, and he pays his $500 fee, whatever it is, and he's good to go. He'll be on the team. That's a
Yeah.
red. Because like if they don't even care what the talent is, you don't even care if this kid can play basketball. So that's number one. Um, so it can be a money grab at times. So make sure the people you trust in are trustworthy, and you're not just giving your money to anybody. Is there anything you want to throw on there and throw in on that before I throw in my next point?
Now I agree because I have heard about and kind of seen some situations where it's like it really is about the money. And I've talked to parents and stuff, and it's like, yeah, you heard about this team over here, but like it's just not quality as far as the ethics and character and morals. Like, yeah, it might be a decent coach, but I can't trust you as a human being and as a person with my money, and more importantly, with my child. You feel me? So if I'm investing 500, 200, 1,000, whatever the money is, I need to make sure that everything I'm investing into this, including my child, is going to be protected and taken care of. So
Hmm.
do your due diligence with that, man. And like we said, not to knock the mom and dad teams, but I would say run some type of some testing to see the quality of the team that you're going to be going out there to be put on, because I'm not trying to, once again, not trying to mock mom and dad teams, because sometimes the dad is a former hooper and he's a coach, whatever, and he gets it, but he just wants to do better for his kid. Like, okay, cool. Even sometimes that can be shaky, but more times than not, you just got to run some type of filter to run through to be like, okay, is this a quality team that I want to have my son or daughter on? Like, whatever that means for you, because you want your kid to go out there hoop and have fun and play, then by all means, pick any team you want to. You can afford it. Church league, men's league, then it don't matter at that point. If you want to go hoop, you can hoop. It don't matter. But if you really want to progress and grow, get to certain levels of certain things, run some type of test for you guys to go through and be like, okay, I can trust you, my money. You talk about going to these tournaments and doing these things that can get my son or daughter exposure, like we talked about earlier, to where it makes sense. So, not to knock the mom and dad teams, but run some type of filtration system where it's like, okay, your quality, your trash. Do some type of separating there, man.
Mm.
But yeah, man. There are some sketchy people out there, so do your due diligence, do your research and everything to make sure that your investments are being taken care of.
Yeah, facts. You got to make sure because it's like I said, it's just some shaky people out there. So make sure you trusting the right people. So that's definitely the biggest one. The biggest negative about AAU is like it's such a business now. It can get ugly. But number two, what I say a big negative about AAU is it can kind of stunt basketball growth a little bit because it's like not as structured as playing for your high school
Mm,
or for a college would be, stuff like that. Like anybody that goes to a lot of AAU tournaments or play AAU, I'm sure you just seeing it being coaching. Um, Guys just be out there doing anything. It'd be a lot of bad basketball going on sometimes. Like guys just be trying to pull a LaMelo ball, pull up from court, trying to shoot Steph Curry range threes and stuff like that. And they get disrespectful, talking junk. It's just bad basketball. A lot of bad basketball be going on at these tournaments, and I feel like that hurts players a little bit because it's like, man, like that's not the game, and you're
mm,
not gonna get away with doing stuff like that in college and stuff like that. Like no one's gonna let you do that. And I get it. Like some of y'all ain't really thinking about going to college or some maybe. But if you are what you should be, if you playing, especially on a high level AAU is not as bad because like them guys really trying to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They really looking to get college scouts and stuff, get offers. So they not gonna go too crazy with the shooting bad shots, doing crazy stuff, trying to go for stupid highlight plays, stuff like that.
mhm.
But AAU culture kind of is. kind of it's been somewhat of a little infection to basketball because it's like, man, guys be going for such highlights now. They see big name players do stuff in AAU that they want to try to do, and it's just like, man, it's not it. That's not gonna get you nowhere. Those are bad shots for you. Like
Mhm.
LaMelo pull up from half court, okay, that doesn't make it a good shot. Like we all remember that when he did that back in the day, but that doesn't make it a good shot, man. Like that's not no.
Yeah.
So that can stunt basketball growth a little bit. It's like, man, guys be getting out of hand now, trying to go for the highlight play, thinking that's gonna get them college recruits and stuff like that. Like it's not, bro. Playing the right way is what's gonna get you college recruits and showcasing your talent within the realm of the game. You know, play it in the offense. Don't just be out there trying to go crazy 1-on-1 and do stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the bigger negatives too.
Yeah, I got 100% agree with that because it's so many people that think they know the game that are coaching and allowing kids to do stupid stuff. And I think what makes it even worse is that you're coaching a team and you're allowing and implementing so many bad habits. So
Mm,
it's like not even on that scale of like just doing dumb highlight type stuff. You're allowing bad habits. You're not coaching the kids. Like you're not even like correcting these issues. You're allowing
mhm,
stupidity to happen. That's not what a coach does. You don't just go out there, organize a team, have plays, and have sets ran. You think you're done. No, you're coaching a lot of small habits. You're getting them to understand how to run the offense, not to be so detailed in structuring your offense like you see with school ball, but they should have a better idea and concept of how to play basketball in an organized manner, how to play a role, how to do X, Y, and Z. So that's why you saw the clip of Brad Bill in the past 2 summers. He getting in on the boys like y'all playing trash, bro. Like this not what basketball is. I know because I've played at every level. I've been successful at every level. I am one of them guys in the league right now. I was that guy in Florida. I was the guy in high school ball. What's up? Like, what you want to talk about? I'm at where you're trying to get to. And what you're doing right now is not gonna get you to where I'm at right now. So that's why we need once again run that filter system of like, is this quality coaching, this quality team? Now we're not talking about the ethics. Now we're talking about the quality of your basketball IQ to be able to coach and develop the players now. Because I don't know if it's just Alabama basketball or what I'm around, but boy, there's some terrible people out here. School ball too.
mhm.
Y'all getting thrown on the bus too. Y'all are terrible, bro. Like, good grief, there's some terrible stuff, man. But it's just so poor of quality coaching, bro. Like, they're not structuring stuff, man. Like, it's so many basics and fundamentals that's being missed out on. Like, there's a clip of Austin Rivers not too long ago. He was going off, not going off, but kind of saying like dudes in the league now don't have like a lot of basic, I hate to say fundamental, but like basic stuff of like understanding about basketball and basic certain things that you act once you think like I'm at the 1% of the league in basketball realm. But you don't know this basic thing over here. Like that's wild to me. Like coaches are coaching stuff that you should be learning at the travel ball, AAU, middle school, high school level. But I'm a pro. And part of that is the travel ball league because you're just running through coaches that are just trying to kiss your butt enough to where, okay, you're
You
on my
stay on
team.
this.
You stay on my team. If I coach you too hard or try to do X, Y, and Z, I might scare you off. So I can't coach you how you need to be coached. And then you staying in college for a year, you're not really getting too much good coaching unless you go into a established coach who does have to like lay the lane. It's like, bro, you doing what I say. This has to get done. You feel me? So you're gonna be coached, in a more uh tough loving type manner. You really gonna get actually coached. And so that's one thing I can't stand, bro. Like you're not getting coached, you're not getting developed. Like you're pigeonholed and doing this thing, and now you're going free willy because you don't have any real coaching going around. You don't have any structure to like. I ain't saying you got to run an organized system in place, but you're not being allowed to develop and grow how you should be, man. So that's one I can't stand about the game, bro. Like that junk is annoying, man. Like you just allow him to take stupid stuff. Like I'm not even saying like bad decisions. I can take bad decisions, but that's stupid. That's a whole nother conversation. That's just dumb, and you're allowing it to happen. All right, we're taking your team is disqualified, bro. Let's go home. That's what I say. Like,
Man, like real basketball, like purists, like if you really enjoy the game of basketball, it'd be frustrating watching stuff like that. Like, why would he do that? Like, come on, man. Like, it'd just be bad. It's all bad. Like, so yeah,
terrible.
like man, like one day I got my own son or daughter playing AAU. I see some stuff like that. I'm pulling them. Like, no. You like we're like if my kid do it, I'm telling the coach take him out. Like, hey, get him out the game because no way he just did that. Or if he on the team, he or she on the team, and the team doing stuff like that, that's his or her lag game. Like, hey, son, daughter, hey, that's it. No more games with the whatever city all stars.
Yep.
Why that? No, I don't like the way they playing here. We're gonna go play
Hmm.
for a better team with that's teach you a little bit more about fundamentals and how to play the game the right way.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Hey, relax. It's okay. Listen, I understand that your goal is so big that it just feels daunting. It just feels overwhelming. Like you trying to get to the NBA, you trying to get to WNBA, you trying to play D1 college ball. I understand. Sometimes that feels like a lot. But listen, you're not gonna make that jump from now tomorrow to be to the league or be in D1. So let's just slow down and focus on the whole journey. Enjoy where you're at right now, but don't get too comfortable. You have to still keep working. You still have to make some type of progress and still keep growing. All you gotta do is think about this. If the minimum I can do today is get 1% better, you winning. Because there are some people gonna take a step backwards. There are some people that's gonna stop and just be equal. But technically you're not gonna be equal because I'm getting better than you, so it means you fell backwards now. And so you gotta get 1% better. Because it's a slow grind from where you're at now to where you want to get to. You don't have to worry about taking over the world in one day. Just take over step by step, one piece at a time, 1% better. It's a whole journey. Okay, you got this goal that's just hanging over you, weighing you down. But this goal, the end destination, it's not gonna change. So you have to appreciate the journey and taking steps to get there. You're a marathon runner, but the whole marathon is about focusing on that next step. So I need you to go ahead and look at whichever one you want. You can get this one of the other ones. But I need you to get this reminder for you. Get you a hoodie, a t-shirt, whichever one, as a reminder that progress is my only goal. And progress don't mean I'm perfect. Progress don't mean I'm there. Progress means I'm getting better. Because better and better adds up to being the best you that you can be. But the best is not existing because you're always going to get better. So get you this peaceful reminder right here to say, hey, all I gotta do is be a little bit better, 1% better, and I'll get to that goal at some point. So remember, it's about the entire journey and not just the end goal. Because progress is the only goal.
But you got anything else you want to throw in on the negatives of AAU? Because if not, I got a story, but I don't want to move on. If you got something else you want to add.
Um, I mean, I don't know if this the bad or the ugly part, but this is you can say what you gotta say, and I'll give it to my point. So go ahead.
Okay, cool. So it's really two different stories, but this is like my best stories about AAU that I've experienced. So when I was a junior becoming a senior in the summertime between my junior and senior year, um playing AAU, playing for a team called Team Alabama, based out in Tuscaloosa. And we playing in this tournament in Birmingham at the BJCC. We play against Team Carroll Premier. This is Damari Carroll, that former NBA player, played for the Atlanta Hawks. This is Damari Carroll's AAU team. So we playing Team Carroll Premier. And it was their tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Like I think like Damari Carroll like hosted the tournament or something like that, or it was like whatever. So we playing them. Uh so it was one of them games where since this team Carroll, obviously, everybody watching this game. Like a bunch of folks watching this game. Cause we had played the game before, like some people was watching it, but like it wasn't like this. It was a crowd around the court watching this.
Hmm.
So that's when I was like, oh, this is a big deal. Like, this must be I mean, our coach told us like, man, we finna play Team Carroll. These boys good, this and that. This is a really good team. These guys like got guys going D1, this and that. He was getting on our case, like I guess we weren't taking it serious enough. Like he was trying to make sure we knew what we was up against. Because we got a couple of little country boys, you know what I'm saying? Some guys from Tuscaloosa, and then me and Shakar, we from Demopolis, you know what I'm saying? So we had some, this is a little big for us at the time.
Yeah.
So whatever, we get out there to play. They got size and everything on us. They way bigger than us. The guy on guard and played for Parker. Uh, he was a big. He was about 6'9". Ended up going to Troy. So D1 big. Uh, we playing. I remember Buddy said something to me. Y'all don't know I got kind of a little mean streak to me. Like you can't say crazy stuff to me on the court. You can't talk junk to me because now I'm finna like I play my best when I'm mad. So he had said something to me. I can't even remember because it's been so many years ago. But he had me mad, and I remember vividly. A guard drove left side, right, and I'm in help. I'm in the middle of the lane help, and when I jabbed for help, he kicked it to the other side, like he dropped out to the big. So, like I said, Buddy 6'9", pretty athletic, whatever. He dropped out to him on the opposite side in the dunker spot. So he caught it and drop step and went up for the dunk. I met Buddy at up top. Caught it in the air, brought it back down, and like brought him back to the ground. The ball fell out of his hand and bounced off him, went out of bounds. So not only did I just stuff this block, ball that went out on him turnover. Team hype, we going crazy. Good D. Like, you know how it is. We going fed. And I'll go down court. Buddy was like, hey, boy, that was a good block. He was like, it's all right though. I gotta get you back for that one. I said, okay, we're gonna see. And the game goes on. We playing these boys tight. We staying with them. They was up most of the game though, but we close though. Like we in the game, as most people probably did not think we was gonna be.
Mm.
And Buddy, I got to throw this in. Buddy did get me back for that block because I went up for a post hook and Buddy smacked that joint into the stands. I can't lie because I ain't never played nobody inside, so I wasn't prepared for that. I like did like a little post hook. Buddy said, "Give me that." Sent that joint out of bounds. I was like, "Oof, all right." But anyway, we get down to the end of the game. We was down like 6, and then they got another bucket made at 8. My coach subbed us all out and put in like our third string guys because they had not played the whole game. Because he was like, and then he told us on silence, like, guys, like, I gotta let them play. Like, we can't just not play them. This ain't no like this. They paid their money. They made the team. Obviously, that we had a trial and stuff. They made the team, but it's like, man, I don't want to have games where like guys just don't play at all. So, and I didn't put them in early because I knew they wasn't gonna be able to handle it, but I mean, guys, I got to put them in. So we was like, dang. So we just basically conceded the game. Like, all right, they got it, whatever. But we stuck with them. And then at the end of the game, my coach, Coach Knox, he was like, boy, Nelson, you gave they big hell. And I was like, I appreciate you saying it, but I mean, it wasn't enough. He said, Nelson, when you got that block on that man trying to dunk, when you stopped that dunk, my phone started exploding. People texting me and calling me and stuff. Like, and I was like college coaches? He said someone was, but most of them were just my friends and people I know in the industry. And they're like, man, you got you some dogs down there. You got who is this, who is that, this and that. Like they was going off, like mostly about you. Cause that play you made gave us the energy. And
Mm.
I think he was like that play made us like play. You know what I'm saying? That made us like, oh, we here. Like we was locked in from that moment on. And I was like, yeah, Cole, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to do what I can do. So I think that was one of the good things AAU gave to me. Like I played better competition and I took it and I was like, I rose to the occasion. So like I said, I don't know if it really helped or hurt my career, but I do think that is something for me personally. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So that's just, my that's probably the best story I got in game wise. uh of my AAU days. It's like, man, I realized like, man, I can stick with these boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just I may not be they level. I was a dude bigger than me and stuff like that. That's cool. I might not be on his level right now, but I can stick with him. I can put the work in. I could be on that level. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was one big thing AAU definitely gave to me.
Yeah, I think that's a kind of back to what we were saying earlier about the exposure, and
Hmm.
sometimes it's more about the the mental side of it. Just like you said, okay, I might not be, a A-list celebrity, but I'm knocking at the door. I'm a B-list, or I'm close enough to where it's like you're not just blowing me out the water. I ain't some unknown, YouTube channel type stuff. Like I'm you gonna have to see me. Like, give me a little bit of time too. I'm on your level. Like you gonna definitely see me. You feel me? So
Hmm.
that's a key piece because like then I gave you the confidence and the team the confidence to be like, oh, we better than we thought we were. Like, oh snap, we can really go out here and ball. Like, oh, we thought we were just little old, Team Alabama going against them. Like, nah, bro, we are Team Alabama too. You feel me? So um that's part of what the beautiful part is of the game, and just as a whole. You feel me? Like you can experience that in school ball, where are we going against the 6A, 7A juggernauts, the reigning champs, whatever, and you just like, oh man, I don't know if we can do it. But then you stick at the game, it's like, oh snap, okay. Yeah, like some games it's like you sticking with them, and it's just like, okay, that's cute. But when they really start balling out for real, it's a 30 piece. Like there's just no ifs, ands, or buts. And it's kind of like, okay, you sticking around, sticking around, sticking around. It's not because of you, it's because of them. But then there's other times where it's like you sticking around, it's like, oh, they're going off and you still sticking with them. Okay, now we got a basketball game. So when you have those situations, it's like now you got a for real confidence boost. And it's like that puts you in a whole other stratosphere. So that's a beautiful part of the game, man. So that's definitely a key piece of it that I feel like you would experience that more with travel ball or AU than you would school ball. But that's a big mental exposure just to expand your brain and your confidence with that, man. So yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. That stuck with me obviously because I that's been years ago. I still remember. So that was probably the biggest little confidence boost and stuff. Something that it did for me personally. But story number two, and then I'll be done. This time I'm not playing. So this was actually this past summer. I was working an AAU game. I was working the clock for an AAU game, AAU tournament for some money. A little side hustle. And it was these two teams playing. One was called they were girls teams. Matter of fact, just one was the something Celtics. It wasn't Atlanta Celtics. I don't want to say it was something Celtics. I can't remember the like city name or whatever, but they were the Celtics. And so this team was clearly like had a little bit of money. They had nice jerseys, all on. They had team shoes, all that good stuff. Cool, good team. Other team was called Girls Inc. They was like the Girls Inc. Like whatever team.
Hmm.
And this team, so Girls Inc. is a team based out of Columbus, or as an organization based out of Columbus. It's like a non-profit, I want to say, that's
Yeah.
like meant to like get. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's meant to get
Hmm.
girls. Yeah. So okay, cool. It's meant to give girls something to do, basically, like help them reach their goals and pursue a whatever future they see themselves in, career.
Yeah.
It's that kind of place. So they have an AAU team. Did not know that. So yeah, so they out there. They got the mesh jerseys that just say Girls Inc. and a regular number on it as shorts, like regular shorts. So
Hmm.
obviously not the most well off AAU team. Ain't a whole lot of money in the program.
Yeah.
And, everybody got their own shoes on, what all that good stuff. So I'm watching, I'm like, okay. And I had already knew from previous, like seeing them previously, that the Celtics was like that. Like this team was like that. It was already like written. And like I had seen the younger Celtics, they was like 10, 11, or 12, something like that. They girls team, they was like that for their age, you know what I'm saying? So now this like 15U or some 15U, 16U, so high school age. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the real deal. I'm ready to see this one now. I'm working the clock. Like I'm watching the game like a fan. So they come out. It's a game out the gate. But the Celtics is like winning, but it's a game.
Hmm.
Girls Inc. team sticking with them though. They hooping. They sticking with them. So the Celtics girls was in the zone. The Girls Inc. team shot them out the zone. They hit a couple threes.
Hmm.
And the coaches talking jump back and forth. So hey, you get like that sometimes. It was that kind of vibe. The Celtics coach like talking jump. The Girls Inc. coach was like mad. Like he talking jump. Like you could tell he really wanted to beat these folks. You know what I'm saying? So um they made a couple threes, and the girls in coach like they want to get out of that zone, and if they go man, we just gonna let I can't even remember the girl name. I probably don't need to say her name anyway. We just gonna let so and so go one on one all day, kill them. I'm like, I don't know which one that is, but can't wait to see that. So they made a couple threes. The Celtics got out the zone, went man. They had this one girl killing them one on one. Like they could not stay in front of this girl. I'm talking about like she coming down. She like the coach telling like kill them. Go like get to the rim, get to the rack. He does all he's saying. I'm talking about she come down, twin cross, blow by, lay. like getting and 1s, come down here, in and out, blow by, reverse the other side, lay. I'm like, yo, like she is killing them. And she the only one. It's like she doing it by herself. Every now and then she kick out, they pack it in, whatever. She kick out for a tray ball. She killing them. So, long story short, the Celtics end up winning. They made a couple more plays down the stretch, end up winning. But I remember the girls' Inc. coach was like, man, y'all need to let us have some of that money y'all got. We need new jerseys and everything. Y'all got all that money, wondering why we losing. So when he said that, that's what made me really pay attention to the jerseys and stuff. Because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So at the end, the coaches, they were like, hey, man, great game, boy. Hey, man, you got some good girls on your squad, this and that. They all that. It was all love. So I was happy to
Yeah.
see that. But that was like the first time I really like got to witness. I'm like, man, the money gap is real. Like,
Yes.
it's real because the Celtics obviously had money. They standing, like they obviously had like a program because they got different age groups and everything. They all got jerseys, everything good on their end. Girls ain't grew. Look, you can tell they barely getting this team together, and they got one
Mm-hmm.
girl. She a dog. The rest of them just they good players. The rest of them was good players. Like, I ain't trying to take away from them. The rest of them was like decent girls players, but she was a dog. Come to find out, she was in 10th grade. Everybody else like junior, senior. No, I think he said that she was in 9th grade. Everybody else is like a junior. She was in 9th grade getting off. I said, yeah, she is going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere. Oh my goodness. I met her dad and everything. Her dad was right next to me. I ain't even know it. And he was like, yeah, she pretty good. He was like, she almost got 1,000 points. She finna be a sophomore. She almost got 1,000 points in high school. I was like, what? What? 1,000 in the 10th grade? She finna have like 4,000.
Bro, she finna break somebody's record.
Man, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, dog, but that was the money gap. Like, these girls from the south side of Atlanta somewhere, Celtics, got all the money they need to run their program. And they got all the talent. They got all the talent they need. Cause like, why would you not play for them? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, man, they got everything set. They a good program, they a good team. I'm gonna send my daughter over there. She a good player. So she over there. So they got the talent. Then you got this little rinky dink team out of Columbus, Girls Inc. These girls, like, it really was a team of like, oh well, this is a team we set up for girls in the city that want to play basketball. That's the team.
Mm-hmm.
Got
Yeah.
them some jerseys, say Girls Inc. on it. That's it. And so they made the best of it though. I was happy to see the little underdog scrapping with these like big money, big wig teams. You know what I'm saying? So that was fun for me in a way. I really was rooting for them on the low. Obviously, I wasn't supposed to have no biases, but if the game would have been close, I might would have held the clock a little bit more. But yeah, that money gap is real in AAU. But it can be beaten, but the money gap is real. Gotta admit it.
So, do you feel like the money gap plays a role into wins and losses?
Yeah, because I mean, it's a baseline of like good talent when you win a good circuit or good AAU tournament. Like you go to a tournament on an everyday, like the everyday tournament ain't gonna have a bunch of guys that's like a bunch of Boston, like not Boston, but a bunch of Celtics like teams. It's gonna be a couple of teams that's like the Celtics, got everything they need, got all the money, so they got a lot of good talent. And there's gonna be a couple teams that I saw on that day too that ain't got neither one. They ain't got talent, money, none of that. They just out there, they hooping, trying to get a little experience, and they ain't a good team. They get blown out most of the time. And then you got a team like Girls Inc. They got a little bit of money, got a little bit of talent, but they know how to use it. They want to win, so they scrap. You know what I'm saying? And so it definitely plays a role in it because, like, I don't think the Celtics lost a game that whole tournament I was at. Obviously I ain't just following them or nothing, but that tournament that I worked that day, the Celtics did not lose. So, but that Girls Inc. team they beat the brakes off a couple people too. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's just one of them things like the money gap is too a little too wide. It's almost like the difference between playing like a mid major and a high major D1. It's like, of course, they got the most resources and money, so they get the bulk of the most talent. So even though they play in another D1 school, they still probably gonna blow them out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like Duke playing Murray State. Like it's D1 versus D1. To be real, like on the ground level, it's D1 versus D1, but we know it ain't the same.
Yeah,
So they do play a role in it.
yeah, man. That's I wouldn't necessarily say it's a problem with the game, but it is a big factor that determines different things. And I feel like I think we have to do a better job of policing some of that, just because it's like on one hand of it, like girls ain't you like looking at it, you be like, man, girls ain't shouldn't don't belong on the floor with these girls. Like
At first sight,
yeah. So like on first, I was like, that's not fair. Let's not do that. But then the game actually gets done. It's like, oh snap, let's give the underdogs a chance. So I feel like on some hands, it's just like, why are we here? Like, why are you letting these girls be in this tournament at all? Like y'all just getting smacked left and right. It's a 40 piece every time. Like, why are we doing this? On the other end of it, it's like, okay, you got a 40 piece here, but we gave a 40 piece to this other team over here. It's like it's the high end, mediums, and it's the bottom end. Like, why we have such a disparaging gap right here? Like, let's not have that. Let's have high and middle. Let's have middle and low. You don't need to have all three tiers of that, because if you are having the same tournament, don't have them like in the same bracket where they play each other. Like, I understand the money concept to get the tournament money and the placement. I get that part of it. I don't care about that. I'm talking about the actual on court product. I'm not gonna have the Southern Stars or the FBCs playing against the the B-Ball Jones uh podcast crew. Like, we're not doing that, bro. Like, that's not the product people want to see. Like, stop that. So I think that's the issue I do have, and like money can be a filter of that. So if you can't afford to get in a tournament, then okay, there's a reason why the B-Ball Jones podcast groupies are. I forgot what I said, but that's why the B-Ball Jones team isn't in that league, because you don't have the talented or the money plays a role into like categorizing you in this stuff, but that's not fair on the other end of it, because I can have some dogs out here and we can hoop, we talented, we don't have the money. You feel me? So I think that's kind of like we do have a better job of doing that, of making sure that the talented people, just because we don't have the money, aren't being held back and not getting an opportunity to get exposure. But on the other end of it, we don't need everybody that has money but you suck to be out here getting exposure too. So I think we do need some type of policing system where it's like maybe invite only, where or we have selected stuff. I don't know. There might be better stuff out there, but just my little 2 cents on that, piece.
yeah, because especially in girls basketball, but in boys and girls, it's like, man, you gonna see them 40 pieces because some teams just don't belong on the floor with certain teams. They're just part of it, man. You just you can't help it. Like I don't know who makes the schedules and stuff or the tournaments. Maybe they don't really know. Maybe it's random, and that just happens. It's just man. You sometimes the Celtics play like there was teams at that tournament definitely got the brakes beat off of because it was all girls tournament. It was all girls teams, and that just happens. But I mean, sometimes it's unavoidable because it's like, man, what they gonna do? Like they out there, they just don't belong on the floor with them. But who?
Mm-hmm.
But also on the other end of that spectrum, who want to see a team full of sorry teams play each other? Like a tournament. I mean, a tournament full of sorry girls teams, guys teams playing each other, and it's like the scores ended 28-35, and they in the 11th grade. Like, you know, I don't want to see that neither. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe nah, the big name tournaments usually gonna be straight all the way through.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
couple little blowouts here and there, but on a regular basis, the regular tournaments, you just go it's just part of the game. But yeah, man, that's it for me though. Is there anything else you want to throw out there?
Yeah. I have to. It's something in me that has to talk about this topic, specifically when talking about travel basketball.
Mm.
Um, oh man, this is a tough one, but to all my parents out there,
So
um,
here we go.
yeah, man, I have to, man. I just have to. It's on my heart, man. I would feel bad about not speaking on this at some point. So yeah, man, the parents can make the whole experience be very ugly on everybody's end. Everybody, like as a player, coach, fan, referee, like it can. The parents are really the make or break of all of this sometimes, because it's a politics game sometimes where I paid X amount of money and you ain't playing my kid. I get that. But like for your situation, like we're right here. We can win. I don't care about that little place. We can play next game. With next game, we can sort that out. But right now, we have opportunity to win. No, forget that little politics of everybody got to play. We have a lot more tournaments, a lot more games. This game right here, we're trying to win. So let's get the best five, six, whoever we can get out there to play to win. Because this win leads to best stuff down the line, to where it makes more sense. So, but some parents be feeling entitled, and it's like it's a whole game, man. Like couldn't stand it. And so I was in a situation where the guy I was working with, he had a weird situation where it's like a player he had on his team, like so let's say this, he had a team and a B team, right? And so some parents on the B team didn't like a way that things were being ran because um these guys are getting smacked playing this competition, but the A team is so much better. So a lot of parents feel entitled to be like, "Oh, why isn't my girl playing on the A team?" There's a reason why, bro. If she was good enough, there would be no questions about why this gap is here. Why are we doing this? So if you want to get up there, she's not gonna play, or if she does play, she's gonna play terrible. So if you want to have that happen, then cool, do your thing. So what do you want to have playing and not looking the best and not the best basketball product, but she's playing, or be on this team and not play at all, or play very spot minutes? Let's decide. And so I think some parents got to get out their emotional feelings and not force their ego onto their kids. It's part of it. And I think number two is like I think more parents don't understand the game than parents that do understand the game. And so y'all be talking wild to the rest. I'm just like, y'all be talking reckless and crazy. And it's funny, I chuckle sometimes because like, bro, that was actually a really good call. Like, that was a carry. Oh, she didn't carry, you dumb mother ref, you blah 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 blah. I'm like, yo, chill out, cause you're wrong. Like you look stupid here, cause cause that was
Because you're wrong.
cause that was the call. That was whatever they called. That was the correct call to make. Well, oh, you need to get your eyes checked. Da 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 da. Da. Yeah, they're right. Let's stop that. Okay. Oh, you don't know the game. Where did she travel? Let's take your bias glasses off and look at the game now. Cause I can say I can know how to look at the game and be non-biased. No matter how bad I want my girl to win or my team to win, whoever it is. Sometimes I do have a little clouded judgment and be like, man, I wish we had that call. But 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, I can look at it and be like, man, it's 50-50. Or I'm like, dang, I wish you didn't call that one. But you got it. So, all right, whatever. And a lot of parents aren't able to take that off, man. And so it's like they force the politics of it to look really bad. There are other ends, politics of coaching and everything, like you said before, about the money grabs and, stealing players from other teams. That's a whole other conversation. But parents, just chill out, man. Tranquilo, like just chill out, man. Like y'all don't have to go on 10 because your daughter's not performing where you want to. And so I can go on hold a little rant about that, man, but I'm gonna just stop right there, man. It's just like just chill out, man. It's okay. Like and another thing too, let your kid make mistakes. If you want to make a mistake, travel ball is where you need to make a mistake. Because school ball, you can't get benched and not play. Travel ball is where you can make a mistake because you paid money. You can push a little more of like playing a little bit more, and you can facilitate their level of play. So like let's say you do have one team over here they're playing on and they're a ranked team. The Celtics, they're playing on that team. She might play a little bit over here and play this role, but if she messes up, she can pull it out. Versus this B ranked team over here, she's starting and the role's wider, but the competition isn't that high. So I think that's a tool you can use it for where you get a little bit of both. So you get the A level talent, even B level talent, and then you can do your thing on a B level and C level thing. So like your go to on the B and C level, but then your role player on the A and B level. So I think that's a tool we can use. But parents gotta chill out, man. Like y'all be wilding. Like on the rest be getting killed, man. Y'all be wilding on coaches. Why am my daughter playing? Put her back in the game. Why you do that? I get you paid money, but at the same time, good grief, let the coaches coach. Like let them coach your child. If they're not doing disrespectful, let them do their thing. So, um, yeah, man, the parents can make it to where it's a terrible experience, bro. And like sometimes they don't allow losses to happen. They look at losses and losing. Oh, we lost a turn. We're not winning games, but it should be more about development at some point. When are you going to develop? And so I think parents lose sight of that sometimes. It's like, man, let your kid struggle, let your kid take a lot of L's, let them get punched in the face a couple times because they'll develop and grow from it. So um put my soapbox back up, man. But yeah, that's kind of like my last little piece about the I ain't know if it's bad or ugly, but it's somewhere in that it's one of them two. Definitely ain't good. So it's one of them two. Y'all can sort that out however you want to. But that's my last little piece about travel ball and AU.
Yeah, I would definitely say that fall in the ugly category. It's like, man, parents do be doing the most, like especially about playing time and stuff like that. Like sometimes, it. Chris Rock told a joke about that. It was like his daughter wasn't getting in and on her high school team like that, and uh, he was like, his wife was mad. It's like, why ain't their daughter playing? Like, why she not playing more? This and that. And he was like, well, honey, there's a way for her to get in the game. Like, you just got to be better, man. And I do think, like you said, travel ball is the place to make mistakes more than anything because it's more freelance. There's more forgiving in travel ball. But in high school, that coach trying to win games, like, so I can't let you be out there turning that thing over, trying to trying to figure it out. Like, nah, bro, we lose too many games. I might get fired. So,
Yep.
your AAU coach ain't really in trouble of getting fired most of the time. So they gonna let you make a few more mistakes. They trying to win, but I'm just saying. So yeah, like let your kids develop, let coaches coach. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you can discern for yourself if things are not going the way I want, like if they're not running it the correct way. But like as far as like coaching goes, playing goes, like let it happen. It's basketball. It's part of the deal. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, man, that's it. So if you all good, and like anything else you want to throw in there before we get out of here.
Nah, man, that's it. Hopefully people enjoyed it, and I think we covered a lot of stuff. We could have went deep on some things. Covered, it could have been a 6-hour episode, man. So much more we could have got
Really
into,
could.
man. But we'll say that for the comments. Y'all jump in and talk y'all piece, man. But that's it for me.
Man, you heard it from the man himself. So that does it for another episode of the BeBall Jones podcast. We hope y'all appreciate it. We hope y'all enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe and drop down in the comments. Let us know what y'all think, man. Let us know about your AAU experiences if y'all played, or let us know of any questions you got about the AAU experience, man. I will be happy to offer what we know. Our knowledge might be a little limited, but hey, we'll do our best. And if we don't know, make sure we ask somebody for you. You know what I'm saying? So. But y'all, be sure to like and subscribe, man. We appreciate y'all for listening. Be sure to follow Brian on all social medias at BeBall Jones. That's BeBall Jones on all social media platforms. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at NellyH34, at Nelson.Haskell on my IG, and you can find me at my name on Facebook. And we keep the conversation going on over there. So be sure to follow us up over there. Be sure to follow the podcast on TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube, it's going across your screen right now on the bottom. But it's the BeBall Jones podcast on TikTok, so be sure to check it out. All our clips and little videos that we make out of the full episodes will be right there, so y'all check that out. But that does it for another episode, man. We appreciate y'all for listening. Be sure to tune in next week for another great episode. Could be a debate, could be an interview, could just be us giving you a little bit of game like we did today. So you got to be there to find out. But without further ado, man, we out.